I call to order the meeting of the mayor and the council of Borough of River Edge, February 16, 2023, regular meeting, 7 p.m. I ask for a moment of silence for all those who are suffering from the tragic loss of so much life at the many shootings that are happening around our country, as well as for all those in Syria and Turkey who are suffering from the loss of family. Plus, if we can remember in our thoughts and prayers, those who have died in those occasions, as well as those who have to live on after they have gone. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification on January 9th of this location, date and time to the town news and the record, and by posting of the same on the municipal bulletin board and the borough website and filing notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, I just want to say for the record that Councilwoman Montesano Cohen is absent with prior notice. Councilwoman Montesano Cohen is absent due to illness, and so is Councilman Canigo. But we should still call their names, I guess.
Yes.
Roll call.
Okay, Councilman Canigo is absent with prior notice. Council President Kaufman is absent with prior notice. Councilwoman Montesano Cohen is absent with prior notice. Councilwoman Kinsella.
Here.
Councilwoman Malalari.
Here.
Councilman Benson.
Here.
Mayor Papaleo.
Here. Okay, so we're going to swear some people in from the green team, as well as from library representative, the mayor's representative of the library, and anyone else who might be present who needs to be sworn in. But first we need to approve the minutes of now. Ms. Apertola and Mr. Sarlo, since there are only 3 councilmen, do I need to vote in order to accept the minutes?
Yes.
All right, then. Could I have a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes of the mayor and council regular and closed session meeting of January 23rd, 2023, and approval of the minutes of the mayor and council special and closed session meeting of February 6, 2023?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. It is not debatable. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is passed. Ezio, if you don't mind, I'm going to hold you off for a second. I'm going to go to mayor's appointment, and then we're going to do an oath so that those who might have to do something else might be able to do that.
Of course, Mayor.
Thank you so much. So I'd like to move to mayor's appointment. Could I have a motion and second? Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Tom and Lizette, this is a mayor's appointment. Does it need to be voted on by the council?
No, it's mayor's appointment.
All right, so let me just read into the record. Mayor's appointment. The mayor appoints Melissa Borza as a representative to the Library Board of Trustees for a 1-year term through December 31st, 2023, effective February 16th, 2023. All right, now, Henry, you're here. Is anyone else here other than Melissa and Henry for the oath? Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Lam, are you here for the oath of office?
The green team?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. So what you're going to do is you're going to raise your right hand, everyone. And you're going to repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Henry Semler,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
That I
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of
of
the
the state of New Jersey.
and that I
and that
I,
will bear true faith and allegiance
will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
To this
To the
same.
same,
to this day,
and to the government established
and to the
and
government
the
established
government established
in the United States and in this state,
in the United
United
States
States and this
And in
state,
this state.
under the authority of the people.
under
under
the
the
authority of
authority of the people.
I state your name,
I, Henry
Michael
Semler,
do solemnly swear
do
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 solemnly
solemnly
swear
swear
that I will faithfully,
That
that
I
I will
faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly.
and
and
justly.
justly.
Now, at the end of what I'm about to say, you're going to fill in green team or library board trustees. Okay. So perform all the duties as
The green team
duty as green,
As library board of trustees.
good to the best of my ability.
To the best
To the
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Congratulations and thank you for your service to the town. Volunteering
Thank
is what keeps our town so much alive. I'm going to give you a chance if you just want to say a quick word. Melissa, do you want to say anything about being joined as a member of the Board of Trustees?
I'm very excited to be a part of the River Edge Library Board. I have served on the Friends of the Library for the last 10 years, helping to raise money for programming and extra activities at the library. So I'm really excited to be a part of this now.
So you are a veteran volunteer, a VV. We appreciate that. Henry, do you want to say a few words? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh, fine. I've been a member of the Shade Tree Commission for almost 20 years
Yeah.
now. And I was at one point a liaison to the Green Team, but things changed and now I'm back again.
Excellent.
So I'll be happy to be there.
Thank you, Henry. You also are a veteran volunteer. We appreciate that. Mr. and Mrs. Lam, would you like to say a few words? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Just first time volunteer, so very excited to help out and volunteer and help the town.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. All right. Now you can of course stay. You're more than welcome to. But if not, you're free to, be about your business. We have lots of somewhat less interesting things to do, but not necessarily. Depends on your point of view. But thank you. Thank you for volunteering.
Thank you.
Okay, dinner awaits. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So now we would go back to a presentation by Ezio Altamura, our consultant, or risk consultant, annual risk managers report. Ezio, council, thank you so very much for being here.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor Papaleo. Members of the governing body, good evening, Councilor Ann, Lizette. Nice working with you folks always. Back in December, when we had our fourth quarter safety meeting, I distributed packets in the Otterstedt folder. Hopefully you have that with you because that's what I'm going to be working off of. So if you open the packet up and you look on the right side, I'm going to briefly go through this. There's a lot of information there. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop and ask. So the first page, the letter is dated December the 6th when I originally dropped the packets off. So the first page is basically who we are and what we do. And again, I want to thank the governing body, the mayor, for our appointment in 2023. I really enjoy being the risk manager, our firm for the Borough of River Edge, enjoy working with Lizette and Ann and your entire team, all your chiefs and your department heads. So thank you for that appointment. If you turn to the second page, page 2, they are numbered on the bottom. We, our agency, risk manages over 30 public entities. That's just a short list of some of the clients that we have. And actually, since the printing of this, we actually got appointed to 2 more municipalities for 2023, the Borough of Oakland in the Bergen GIF and the Borough of Pompton Lakes in the Morris GIF. So we do over 30, probably close to 35 public entities in our public entity group. If you turn to page 3 and 4, these are our resumes of the principals and the risk management team that works for the Borough of River Edge. On page 5 begins the again, this is 2022. So this is the 2022 Plan of Risk Management. As a member of the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, there's 38 members in this JIF, and then the umbrella arm of the JIF is called the MEL, that's the Municipal Excess Liability Fund, and they are the umbrella arm over 19 JIFs in New Jersey, over 400 public entities, the largest JIF in New Jersey and the largest JIF in the United States. Page 6 gives you a synopsis of the insurance coverages at the very top. So we cover through the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, worker compensation, liability, including excess liability, which is commonly known as umbrella liability, public officials employment practices liability. We have volunteer directors and officers liability, crime, non-owned aircraft, environmental impairment, cyber, property and equipment breakdown, emergency service volunteer, and the coverages include terrorism coverage. At the bottom of page 6 and page 7 are the more detailed descriptions of these coverages. So if you go to page 8, these are just some of the highlights. Number 3 is the optional excess liability. So I have the Borough of River Edge maxed out at the highest possible level of coverage at a limit of $30 million. Number 4, the public officials employment practices liability. Because the Borough of River Edge has excellent claims experience in these lines of coverage, you enjoy a lower deductible and lower out-of-pocket coinsurance. That's the little figure underneath there under number 4. And then under number 5, I purchased you optional excess coverage under public officials and employment practices. The Borough of River Edge has the maximum offered, which is $8 million above the $2 million for a total of $10 million. If you go to page 9, I have you covered with optional volunteer directors and officers liability for your emergency services. Basically, this is wrongful acts and breach of duty outside of firematic duties. It's commonly called directors and officers liability, and that's for your volunteer emergency services. If you jump to page 10, and again, I'm just skipping around because I'm just touching on what I think are important. But again, stop me if you have any questions. Number 10, we have cyber insurance coverage offered by the Joint Insurance Fund, data breach, data recovery, ransomware. In 2023, the MEL, the umbrella arm of all the JIFs in our system, actually formed a cyber joint insurance fund. They actually went out because it's becoming so cost prohibitive to purchase cyber liability through a private insurance carrier. They created a joint insurance fund called the Cyber JIF, and I've been participating in their monthly meetings since last year. So now we're part of a cyber joint insurance fund, and that's part of the assessment to the borough. Number 11, property. So we cover your buildings, your equipment, your vehicles, all insured. If you go to page 11, we have a $2,500 deductible across the board for property. And under number 12, it's very unique to the Bergen and the South Bergen JIF. It's very unique to Bergen County's JIFs, the two of us, two JIFs, that we have coverage for excess liability, excess auto coverage for your volunteers for physical damage up to $2,500. So if a volunteer fireman, for example, has an accident with their personal vehicle responding to a fire, they put a claim in through their own insurance first, and whatever's not covered up to $2,500 gets covered by the JIF. That's a very unique coverage to our JIF. If you go to page 12, these are some ancillary or additional coverages that we write for the Borough of River Edge. The first one is an accident policy for your recreation program. We have a $500,000 excess coverage. So if a child gets injured, they put a claim in through their own health insurance, or if they don't have health insurance, this policy drops down and covers their out-of-pocket costs. We have bonds through the JIF, and if you look in the middle, the approval for 2022 and carried into 2023 is for Sean, your library treasurer, Chris, your treasurer, CFO, and Deborah, your tax collector. We carry an accident and sickness policy under VFIS, your volunteer fireman. This is for firematic duties, and it's above and beyond whatever worker comp would cover for the volunteer fire and the ambulance corps. And then on the bottom of page 12, we have a policy for your volunteer boards and commissions if any of them are injured as well, or while they're performing their duties. Page 13, we have an accident policy, a volunteer accident policy for your summer recreation program, similar to the recreation program. And we have one for your police reserve and your CERT program. We have quasi entities coverage for quasi-governmental entities that support the borough of River Edge, but might be a nonprofit or incorporated. There's an application process. So the coverages apply to the Friends of the Library, the River Edge Alliance Against Alcohol, your senior citizens, your Central Athletic Council, and most recently, we added about 5 years ago, your River Edge Swim Club, which saved the club quite a bit of money to be part of our insurance. We cover flood insurance for your 2 high hazard locations that have high hazard flood exposures. That's on page 14, which is your DPW building and your firehouse. And I might add that FEMA changed rating programs last year. They went to this risk rating 2.0. Some people went up, some policies went up in premium, some went down. The borough of River Edge's premiums went down. So we were able to get you lower deductibles for less cost. So we did that when the policy renewed last year, these 2 policies. Page 15, I title it a risk management, a work in progress. If you look on the left side of the packet, there's 2 inserts there. And these are similar to what I share quarterly with your safety committee, and I leave extra copies for the mayor and council. So this is actually, because this is a 2022 packet, this gives you a synopsis of 3 years, 2021, 2020, and 2019 for all coverages except for public officials' employment practices liability. So I won't go into great detail, but the trends of accidents and exposures to risk for the borough of River Edge has been excellent. You are a very safe community, and that's a testament to the governing body, the mayor, and your department heads. You don't have it in your packet, but the 2022 year end ended again with an excellent trend. You had no lost time accidents for the whole year for worker compensation. So it's an excellent result. So your trends have been very, very favorable. Also in that packet is the MSI, the Mel Safety Institute. This is how training is done. I put the flyer in there where basically they have live webinars and the 24/7 online training programs. And occasionally I send emails out with the next 3 months of classes offered and updates to your administrative staff, so they are aware of that in case any department heads need to attend classes and get safety training. Okay, going back to page 15 now on the right side, I just want you to know, and it's important to know, that because of Lizette's very hard work and diligence, the borough of River Edge achieved the highest tier for cyber coverage. So you get the benefit of, God forbid you have a claim for a cyber exposure. At that point in time, as long as you're still fulfilling all your protocols for cyber, you have no deductible applicable. And that's a direct result of Lizette working with your technology people to get you what they call tier 3 status. So that's in the middle of page 15. So that's really good news. And then page 16 and 17 are just highlights of basically present coverages and trends. These are items that are often discussed at the safety committee meeting quarterly. I speak with Lizette constantly in your department head, so I'm not going to go through all those bullet points. On the bottom of page 17, I'll just let you know that on the bottom of page 17 and page 18 are just some of the trends. In fact, the JIF, who are on the cutting edge, our JIF is on the cutting edge of information, had a seminar, actually a webinar on Monday, just going through these bullet points about how exposures to risk across the country are increasing because of litigation, because of fires and floods across the country, and it's driving insurance costs up. We haven't seen this. I've been risk managing 25 years now, public entities, and the past 2 years have been the worst I've ever seen for exposures to risk across the board for all coverages, all lines of coverage. So there's many reasons for that. That kind of explains it. And then the last page on page 19 is just to highlight that in 2021, the Borough of River Edge received the Safety Incentive Program's Bronze Award for a check in the amount of $250 that was awarded at the safety breakfast. And you also received a dividend of $10,500 due to very good claims experience for the overall JIF back in 2021. Again, I want to thank Lizette and Ann, all your department heads, for working with us and our agency. And we're here to answer any questions. Anything you need on insurance and risk management, we're here for you. And by the way, newly elected Councilman Benson was at the Fair Lawn elected officials class, so you got your first $250 credit. I was there with him as well, and we got to meet and speak a little bit there. Actually, meet the second time. Does anyone have any questions?
It's open to the council. Is anyone have a question from the council? Ezzy, you did a great job. We love it. And what you're doing with Lizette and giving us that tier 3 cyber protection is phenomenal. Thank you, Lizette, for all the work you do as our business administrator. We're in good hands with you. We trust you, and you're always there for us, especially if we have even a minor question. And so to the people of River Edge who are watching, I want to tell them that our town is in good hands with you and your organization. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Papaleo. Thank you again to the governing body. And the Borough of River Edge is a very safe community, and it speaks volumes for what you do as a governing body. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Mayor, I'm going to sign off unless you need me for anything else.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Everyone have a good evening, and thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we need to open to comments on any item on the agenda. Could I have a motion and second from council to open to any item on the agenda?
So move. Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, so I don't know if Lizette or you or Ann are controlling their meeting, but to the residents, if you'd like to, who are present, if you'd like, please raise your hand and we will unmute you. You have to say your name and your address, and then you can ask a question or make a comment. And there will also be another time at the end of the meeting that we will be opening to the public for anything, not just any item on the agenda.
No one has their hand raised at this time.
Okay. All right, then could we have a motion and second to close to the public on any item on the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, it's been
Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, great. All right, so now we move to appointments and personnel change. Okay, could I have a motion from Councilwoman Mollari and a second from Councilwoman Kinsella when I finish reading this into the record? Approve the salary increase of Brenton Preisendorf from an annual Sergeant 1 salary of $142,253 to a Sergeant 2, $145,180 per contract effective February 21st, 2023. Approve the salary increase of Patrick Diamond from an annual Sergeant 1 salary of $142,253 to a Sergeant 2, $145,180 per the contract effective February 21st, 2023. Approve the change of a liaison to the Finance Committee from Councilman Benson to Councilwoman Kinsella as alternate 1 effective February 16, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It is not debatable. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, we have now a reading of the ordinance. This ordinance is a first reading. There will be a second reading, and at the time of the second reading, it will be open to the public. First reading ordinance. Motion that the following ordinance be introduced and passed on the first reading and setting March 13th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard as the date and time, and the Zoom as the virtual platform for hearing on said ordinance. Could I have in a moment, could I have Councilman Benson move and Councilwoman Kinsella second? Ordinance 2023-03, an ordinance amending the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, Chapter 79, entitled Recreation and Cultural Affairs Department of.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, could I have now our business administrator, Ms. Apertola, to give a short synopsis?
This ordinance just clarifies some of the requirements of the position of the Director of Recreation and Cultural Affairs and just cleans up the formatting of the overall chapter.
Okay. Is there debate? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Malalari,
Yes.
Councilman Benson.
Yes.
And I need to vote too, so you have to call me.
Oh, okay, Mayor Papaleo.
Yes, because we need a majority and 3 is not a majority. Right? Is that correct, Tom? Yes. Okay, great.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, great. So what this means for the public's benefit is that it's simply now in the public forum. At our next meeting, any member of the public may ask questions about it. And there will also, before it's voted on, it will be opened again just for discussion about this. Okay, second reading and hearing on an ordinance. So the following ordinance published here within was first read by title only on January 23rd, 2023, and posted to the bulletin board outside the clerk's office. Could I have Councilwoman Malalari move and Councilwoman Kinsella second? This is ordinance, and this will be to open it to the public. This is ordinance 23-2, an ordinance to amend chapter 206 of the revised general ordinance of the Borough River Edge entitled Fees.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor to opening to the public? Aye.
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 Okay. We are now open to the public on ordinance 23-2 only. Before we turn to the public, Madam Business Administrator, could you please give us a synopsis?
This updates the fee schedule with regards to police outside duty, as well as fees to be charged by the Land Use Board for collection of escrow and applications.
Okay. If any member of the public would like to ask a question or make a comment regarding ordinance 23-2, revised general ordinance of the Borough River Edge, chapter 206, please raise your hand now and you will be recognized.
There are no raised hands.
Okay, could I have a motion from Councilman Benson and a second from Councilwoman Malalari to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. Now the adoption will of course be a roll call, but before that, it is open for debate or discussion or comment. Is there any debate, discussion, or comment from members of council? Hearing none, roll call. Oh wait, we have to move it in second. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Malalari and a second from Councilwoman Kinsella?
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Malalari,
Yes.
Councilman Benson,
Yes.
Mayor Papaleo.
Yes. Okay, just in case the public's wondering why I'm voting right now, it requires 4 to pass anything. Since there are only 3 council persons, whenever that occurs, I become part of the rotation. Okay, we have resolutions 22-7 through 2388, but we need to table 2388. I have not had an opportunity to speak with the superintendent to make sure that the BOE is comfortable with the language and ready to move on the memorandum of agreement. In fact, I'm going to be meeting with her tomorrow at 3:45. She's been busy with the duties of superintendent, and I believe she was at a conference. So we haven't had a chance to speak. So could I have a motion and a second to table the approval of the memorandum of agreement 23-88 until we have confirmation that it is the intent of the BOE to pass the memorandum of agreement as written?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, now this will be tabled to the next meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there any, I think I heard from everybody, so I don't need to ask if there's any abstentions or nays. All right, so now we have resolutions 22-77 through It should, is it 22-77? Shouldn't it be 2377? And you're muted.
The bill list is actually 2389. Did I send the?
So on the, at least on the hard copy, it says 2277, 2278, 2279. Mr. Solo, I don't think that this opposes an obstacle. I think we can move it with the correction that it should be 23.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, so could I have a motion and second to move 22-77 through 22-79 as 2377 through 2379 and 2380 through 2387?
So moved.
All right,
Second.
cool. All right. For resolutions, I don't think we need a polling, Mr. Sarlo.
No, Mayor.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So that's approved. So now we have payments of the bills. And Indira, you just became the alternate finance person. So do you have a copy of the bills?
Yes, I do.
All right. So Councilwoman Kinsella, as the alternate to the Finance Committee, would you please move and could we have Councilwoman Mallory second to the payment of the bills after you finish reading it?
Sure, Mayor. At a regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on February 16, 2023. Be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current fund, $4,492,901.78. Capital fund, $469,781.86. Grant fund, $68.85. Animal Control Fund, $176.40. Trust Other Fund, $438,428.69. Open Space Fund, $461.45. Payroll Fund, $17,452.02. Unemployment Fund, $1,842.95. Developers Escrow Fund, $21,480. And Self-Insurance Fund, Trust Fund, $49,015.95. So moved.
Second.
Good, moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
There we go. All right. Number 15 for discussion. Ms. Apertola, I don't believe there's anything for discussion, but I didn't want to pass by it without checking with you.
No, I don't have anything for tonight.
Okay, any new business or old business that any member of council or Ms. Apertola would like to bring to our attention?
Yeah, Mayor, I wanted to bring to your attention, we got an email from a Crystal Page and a Shinokwa Douglas about them asking us about possibly opening up a retail cannabis shop here. And I was kind of interested to find out more about what this proposal is. I found out that we have a cannabis committee. I don't know where we stand with that. I wouldn't mind being on it.
Let me
but
give
go
you a little
ahead.
background on that. So the state legislature, there was an amendment to the Constitution, amendment, wasn't it, Tom? Yeah.
Yes,
So
Mayor.
there was an amendment to the Constitution to allow for cannabis sales in the state of New Jersey. And the amendment and the consequent laws and regulations stated that if municipalities didn't pass a resolution or ordinance, I think it was a resolution ordinance stating that we would not permit it, then it would automatically be permitted. There are 4 or 5 licenses, Tom.
5.
5 licenses. One of them is retail. There is, I believe, a farming license. There's a warehouse license. There's a distributor's license. There's a retail license, maybe 2. I forget. And so we formed a committee because we were obligated to do so. The council at the time, because there were no regulations published, felt that we should, like so many municipalities in the state, I think there's, Lizette, are there 565 municipalities or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. out of most of the 565 municipalities passed ordinances that restrict or do not permit cannabis establishment, any of the 5 licenses in their municipalities. Regulations are now out, and there has not yet been interest amongst the council to revisit that. However, you are free as a council person to reach out to them, have a conversation, and then report back. The committee, do we still have the committee? I forget at this point. Lizette?
I don't know if it was absorbed into the legal and codification committee.
That's right, it was. Is that true, Ann? Yeah, I think Ann wanted to say the same thing. So we absorbed it in, just in case we want to bring that up. Who is on that committee?
That
That's Lisa, Dario?
And
No.
Claudiana.
Oh, sorry.
On the legal review committee,
Got it.
Yeah.
it was Dario, Lisa, and Claudiana.
Claudiana. So maybe Claudiana, you and Barry would want to coordinate and reach out to this individual and then bring it back to the committee to see if the committee wishes to bring it back to the council. Well, how do you feel about that, Claudiana?
If I may, the cannabis committee did not meet last year,
No.
but in the prior year, Councilwoman Kinsella was on the committee.
Okay, that's true. So the committees in this year's
Is absorbed.
is
into
absorbed.
everything.
So well, and we can't have 4. Well, what we could do is, Indira, if you wanted, you and Barry could reach out, speak to the individual, and then report back. And then if it seems like something that we might want to do, then we'd hand it over to the cannabis committee and the contract committee to do deeper research.
I'm okay with Claudiana takes the lead on that.
All right. Claudiana, are you good with that?
Gladly do it. It's just that I'm back in the office working, so I don't know if I can do it during the day. So Indira, if you can do it, that will be fine with me.
I think if this individual is serious, he'll make time after hours.
After hours, that's fine.
So you and Barry will coordinate that and report back either at the next council meeting or the council meeting after that, depending on what obstacles you might have to making contact.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So anything else for new or old business? All right, then. Let's open to the public for any comment at all. Could I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are now open. Oh, we actually have a hand up, I think, right? Okay,
Yes.
at least one.
Okay.
So, Michelle, would you just bring, I'm not Michelle, I'm sorry. Ms. Apertola, would you please bring one individual in, and then we'll ask them for their name and address, and they can make a comment or ask a question.
Yes, I moved Patty Amberg over as a panelist.
Great.
If it'll let me. Okay.
Here she comes. Patty, can you turn on your camera, unmute yourself?
Unmute, start video. Okay, got it.
Great, Patty. Could you please state your name and address?
Sure, it's Patty Omberg, 659 Fifth Avenue.
You have the floor.
Great. So I am the co-chair of the Environmental Protection Commission, and we work closely with the Green Team. So I just wanted to say thank you for approving our new members. We've been working hard to try to expand our reach in the River Edge community. So I think we continue to make great strides. I also wanted to let you know that April will be a busy month for us. April 15th, Pam Gould, along with the DPW, has set up a styrofoam collection and what else? A shredding event. So it'll be April 15th down at the DPW from 9 to 1. So if, please pass that information along to any avenue you may or you can. And then on
I can
April
put it
20.
on the mayor's page. Can you send
Great.
me a flyer?
Sure. Yep, I
Beautiful.
will do that. And then April 22nd is our second time toy drive. We've been doing this for quite a few years now, and we really take a lot of plastic toys out of landfills and they get repurposed to organizations that need them.
Also, if you can send that as a separate
that-
poster so I can put it separately. And also
Sure.
remember to include Miss Apertola or Miss Dodd so that
Yep.
it can show up on the website.
Okay, great. And we're also
Oh, and
working
I
on.
approve these being added to the bulletin board sign, the electronic sign outside the.
Oh, great.
Good.
Okay. And then we're working for recertification for Sustainable Jersey. So we're hoping to put all our information in by May to them. And we appreciate all the help we're getting from Anne and Lizette and the DPW. So thank you.
Excellent, wonderful. Patty, thank you for coming and all the work you do. It's really great. The green team and the
We just say EPC.
EPC, Environmental Protection Committee. You guys do a great job. You work very hard. You're unsung heroes. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
Any member of council wish to make a comment or ask a question of Patty, since she represents 2 committees of our town?
I'd just like to say thank you, Patty, for all the work that you and your team are doing. It's great.
Thanks.
Yeah, ditto. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Anything you can do to pass the word out, we'll be happy to, we appreciate it.
All right, great. Thank you, Patty.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night.
I guess Brianne Etter is next, correct?
Yeah, she had her hand up.
Hey, Brianne, could you please say your full name and your address?
Sure. Brianne Etter, 711 Elm Avenue. I just wanted to clarify, you are not taking public comment on ordinance 23-03, right, for tonight? And you're saving that for public comment for when?
So the next meeting is when it would be up, but as I had said earlier in the meeting, you could have asked about it once, when we had opened to any item on the agenda. But
Mayor,
the way the law is written, the first reading does not open to the public. The second reading does.
Mayor, I just want to let you know it's not being adopted till the 13th because there's not enough time.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be heard until the 13th of March.
Right.
Okay, so at that time, you'll be taking public comment on it.
Yes, but you're free to say something tonight or privately reach out to any member of council at another time. So, feel free.
Okay. My only question is, I noticed there is an assistant recreation director added on here. Is that a new position we're adding to?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's not necessarily that we will hire them, but gives us the option to hire them. So what we would do is, my understanding is that we would if this ordinance passed, we'll probably go out for the director in April, Lizette?
The solicitation would be after it is adopted, and the deadline would be sometime in April. We
Okay.
posted on the League of Municipalities for 30 days.
So the second half of March through the first half of April, and then we would hire that person, and then that person would take their post, and then we would consider with that person whether or not we would go to the deputy or not. We may never. It's kind of like with the police department. We have what's called the table of organization, or for that matter, for any position in the borough. If you've seen the reorganization meeting, we give salary ranges, we give positions, but that doesn't mean that we're hiring for them. That simply gives us the legal latitude to hire if we should see that we do need that.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Just to clarify, it's not an assistant director, it's an assistant to the director. So
Yes.
it's more of a clerical role.
Okay. And then in the past, the Recreation Committee has also interviewed and been part of the interview process for the Director of Recreation. Are you taking the Recreation Commission out of that? Or
Lizette,
are you-
can you speak to that point?
Yes, because no other board is involved with the hiring of personnel. And all personnel are, once resumes are received, they're reviewed, they're screened in the processes. It's the Personnel Committee. And then it is filtered down to the best suited candidate and goes to the full governing body, who is the hiring authority for the borough.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Brianna. Is there anybody else who would like to ask a question or make a comment? Ken, if we can bring Ken in, that'd be great.
Okay. Just needs a moment to switch. Okay.
Okay, Ken, if you just turn on your camera, say your full name and your address, and then the floor is yours.
Sure, Ken Schaffenhauer, 780 Millbrook Road. Just was trying to, I guess last night, the Recreation Commission had their monthly meeting, and I don't know to what extent Councilwoman Kinsella conveys back to the council as far as the topics and everything, but there was quite a bit of time spent discussing the proposed increasing of the field maintenance money, as well as an increase in the fees charged for summer camp. So if the feedback from the committee members, and I was just a participant from the public sitting in on the meeting, but just it seems like as far as that with some of those changes that are being proposed and seem fairly far along as far as coming to fruition, it just seemed that there was a lot of negative or just concerns as far as just some of the information that had come out. This was kind of eye-opening that the day camp operated at a deficit last year, and just the proposal to increase by, I guess, $100 per child, just kind of getting a little steep, and certainly not involved in that side. But when you're for a part-time day camp that runs 4 hours a week, that was a concern. And on the field maintenance side, what was always initially put in as a field maintenance fee as far as for the upkeep of the fields, Michelle had kind of said as far as, well, now it's also looking to recoup some of the, when she cites an increased insurance costs, the cost of lighting. It kind of seems like it's going beyond the scope, and the question came up as far as, well, at what point do the what's the where the taxes come, what everybody pays taxes to, as far as that responsibility, as far as putting additional financial obligations on the participants.
Okay. Indira, I think you raised your hand. You wanted to speak to that?
I did. Thank you, Ken. We, towards the end of the meeting, I'm not sure if you were still there, but we discussed, Michelle Ryan, the interim director, said that we would go to the CFO as well as the borough administrator to discuss all the fees, because obviously we had all the feedback from everyone involved, and that we would talk to them first before doing anything. So we heard everybody and what they said. So that's why we needed to set up a meeting. But again, our meeting last night was 2 hours. So, and it's just a day after. So we're trying to coordinate to get a meeting done to discuss all these things.
Okay, no, that's why I assumed it would, but just I guess from the public side, just kind of making it, from my standpoint, just making some of the concerns known right away and everything, and just that's what we do as residents.
Ken, you're exercising your right and your responsibility as a citizen. We love it. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, great. That's all I have. Thank you very much, And
All
yeah,
right,
you folks
take
have a
care.
good evening.
Thank you,
Is
Ken.
there any other member of the public who would like to make a comment or ask a question?
No one else has their hand up.
All right, could I have a motion and a second to close to the public?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Council comments. Is any member of council wish to offer a comment or yes, Councilwoman Kinsella?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to mention to the public that today we were supposed to have the River Edge free skate at Van Son, but unfortunately the county canceled it due to the weather. So our interim director, Michelle Ryan, has secured a new date, and I believe the nixles went out for Monday, February 20th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. For all the residents of River Edge to attend. So I hope you guys can make it.
The Nixle did go out. I did get it. I don't know if anybody else did, but I certainly did. Any other member of council wish to make a comment? All right, then. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Great. Wonderful. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.